Today I want to show you guys how to use the die system in Crimson Desert. So let's go. I want to show you real quick that you need to consume the die by using use on the die in order to use it. And that'll unlock it for good. And you need to go to different die traders depending on where you are in the world in order to use that die. So some dies like red, for example, will be in the Hernand region. And this one will be out here in the kind of like desert area. And I'll go a little bit more into detail, but that is the main one that people are going to have trouble with. So if I'm going to go up to this guy, for example, and I want to buy some dye, I just go into literally buy, and then I buy dark orange, right? And then when I go into dye itself, it won't be here. It'll be all question marks. And you're wondering what the hell is going on. So what you need to do is you need to go to your inventory and you need to consume the dye. Now, I'd recommend consuming all the dye that you have whenever you get it so that you have it unlocked for good pretty much. And then you go back into the trader, go back into the dye section, and he will now have all of the oranges available, all of the different types of orange. And it's the same for the other guy. So let me show you where we are on the map, and then I'll show you me actually putting the dye on, which also causes a little bit of issue in this game. So this one in particular is right under the Crimson Desert. So if you look at the T in Tashkalp, if you just go directly south from there, you will see this guy. And there's other dye places around the map that you could find. So keep an eye out on your map for different dye places. Click on environment if you want to see the dye icon whenever you're like looking for where is the dye places that I've already unlocked. And this is Hernand, the main city that you start off in. And this is kind of like the first dye trader that you'll find near the river here. So you have your dye trader here and you have the back alley shop here. So that's a very iconic place as well. And that Crimson Desert place that I'm just going to really quickly up to the right. So it's pretty far away and you're coming all the way up here. So just up to the right where Tashkalp is. If you get your Greymane camp upgraded enough, you'll get your own dye trader in the Greymane camp. And they will give you access to pretty much most of the dyes in the game in terms of being able to use them. And so the next part of this that is a little bit awkward is when you're actually in the dye section itself. You want to click on the piece of armor that you want to dye and then click on the part of the armor that you want to dye. But make sure you double click. That's the most important thing. You double click in here to actually activate the dye. So people are having issues with that. So double click that. And it's the same for like on console. Make sure you confirm it. I don't know if you have to double click since I don't use a controller, but you're definitely going to be wanting to like look at the bottom right for your controls and just like activate the dye. I'm assuming it is spacebar, for example. Yeah, spacebar. So whatever save dye is on controller. Now, when you click on a part, it'll glow white to tell you which part you're about to do. So as you can see, I'm doing that one. Now I'm doing this one, and then it'll get glitchy. So instead of mixing up the parts, instead of trying to switch over to a different part, exit out, honestly. For your own sanity, exit out and just go back in, honestly. Because if you don't exit out, there's a very high chance that you're going to be still dyeing the same piece of equipment, even though you want to dye something else. So you go in and click dye. Best of luck with the dye system in the game. It is very, very good in terms of just like all these different dyeing that you could do. You could dye different parts. You could dye your different swords and stuff. But the problem with dyeing in this game is it isn't as straightforward as it should be to the brand new player. And so let me know if any questions, let me know if I forgot anything, and I will see you guys in the next video.